Hello Year 5. We're now entering into our second unit for the term 2, exploring characters in an animated film. Okay, the next couple of slides will be very important information. Feel free to pause or stop these to make sure you get clarified information being given to you. Okay, that's one reason why Mrs. Hayward is doing this YouTube, so you can pause this video and take in what you're actually looking at. Okay, the learning goals for Unit 3 when we're exploring the characters in animated film. Okay, our learning goal is to create a digital multimodal short story that focuses on behavior of two main characters when faced with an ethical dilemma. We'll have a little chat later on about what ethical dilemma it is. Okay, you know you will be successful when you understand what an ethical dilemma is and how characters behave in it. You understand what is multimodal presentation. You understand the structure of narrative, orientation, complication, climax, and resolution. You success when you can create a storyboard. You can make a multimodal presentation using elements of audio, visual, and sound. Create an imaginative text for purpose and audience on fantasy narrative. Demonstrate connection between behaviors of characters in a dilemma to enhance the understanding of the dilemma. And last one, make concise vocabulary choices that reflect attitudes of characters and relationship. Okay, that's quite a big learning goals. Okay, it's actually going to be quite fun because you're going to be looking at a lot of videos and comic strips and that, and all of this is part of your learning goal. Okay, task sheet. We're going to read through this together. Okay, we're going to break things down for you to have a look at. Okay, the only thing that we might actually not spend so much time on our success criteria because that's in a couple of slides down as well. Okay, so the actual unit's called Examining Characters in Animated Film. Okay, complete in week 10, so we've got a few weeks to do this. It's an open condition. You'll be doing this individually. You'll be drafting it first and actually conferencing it. And then we're going to use the software, the school software or your software, okay, and actually submit an audio. So we're going to learn how to include the audio into it. Hopefully we'll be back at school by then. Okay, to create, you put about the task, you're going to create a digital multimodal short story. Okay, so it's a narrative, a short story that focuses on the behaviors of the two main characters when they face with a dilemma, ethical dilemma. Okay, I'm going down here. Now again, this is your assessment task, is to create that multimodal short story. Okay, I'm not going to go sit down and read too much of the completing task. So this is because I think it's a little bit blurry in here. So when you look at your PowerPoint Mrs. Hayward sent out, or Miss Watson sent out, Mr. Bruce sent out to you guys, okay, maybe then you can have a really good look at it. But it is broken up into getting to know what your task is with learning goals, with GTMJ and the task sheet. And we have a look at how maybe you guys would highlight or learn to the A's and B's and the C. Okay, and then week 3 we start writing or looking into fantasy that we've done recently. Okay, the narrative structure, and then we'll try to discuss the elements of it with language features and all. Okay, and we also might have to focus on visual features as well, not just language features, visual features as well, considering it is going to be a short story using a storyboard. Okay, and then once we've actually write a draft of it, then you can start making the actual short story digital model. All right, on your left-hand side here, you've got the actual success criteria. We're going to read that through in probably 2 or 3 slides go. So that's your task sheet to have. Always refer back to this when what do I have to do? What will be necessary? Or what is needed for me to complete this task? Okay. This is what your task sheet, the actual assessment task is going to look like. Obviously it's going to be broken up, but this is it. And there's 4 or 5 pages that comes with this. And it gives you opportunity to actually plan it, have the skeleton of your story, and then have the actual slide that you can use into it. Okay, so we're going to have to create a digital multiple short story that focus on the behaviors of two main characters when faced with an ethical dilemma. And if you have to look to instruction, we're going to read down through plan a digital multimodal short story. So you decide on an ethical dilemma. Then you have to explain what is an ethical dilemma with the one that you choose. Create a character profile. So now this is where you choose the two different characters that you're going to be actually facing each other. Okay, create a plot that goes, what happened with these two characters. And from that, you create a storyboard. You edit, making sure everything's fine, perfect. Okay, this is when you probably have to send it through to your teachers and get in the feedback to make sure that it is a narrative story and that is the ethical dilemma. And then you go into your software and actually create your storyboard or your probably a movie really. You can use actually PowerPoint to do this as well. All right, so that's your assessment task. Okay, our guide to making judgment. For the C, you have to create an imaginative text for purpose and audience. You make presentation which multimodal elements for defined purposes. So defined purposes would be for that ethical dilemma. For B, explicitly conveys the ethical dilemma. So you really have to make sure that it is explicit, meaning that in detail, and the relationship between the two characters within the text. Okay, identify the multimodal elements to be included in the presentation. And then across the other side of it is the cosmetic side where you have to edit it. You have to make sure you places visual, print, audio element using appropriate software. Use appropriate vocal effects and audience on purpose. And I'll find for you to go aim for A's, which most of you should be actually working towards, is create a storyboard using appropriate narrative text structure. The orientation, the climate complication, the climax resolution. By now, year 5, you should have that structure down pat. Now you have to include the language features, including concise vocabulary that reflects attitudes of the character and the relationship they have with each other, and enhance the audience understanding of the ethical dilemma. So the key focus in here is that ethical dilemma and how you deliver it. And now how you can presentation, it has to have combines multimodal elements, the visual, the audio and sound effects that represent realistic or fantasy setting and characters. Use a range of vocal and sound effect to enhance the visual images. Okay, so it's been a really interesting task for you guys to do. All right. Now, I've already gone through the actual assessment task with you, but there's a couple important words here that I've actually have red rectangle to create to making sure you focus on there. So you need to stop this now and actually read through, okay, the keywords in there, like the word create, the word digital multimodal, behavior, ethical dilemma, short story, character profile, plot, storyboard, and drafting. Making sure you understand all of that. If you don't, okay, you're still not quite sure, this is really good time to jot it down your questions, and then you can email your teachers, asking for some clarification there. Now we know what we're going to do, working towards. Have a look at our daily lesson, okay? Go down to, I think it's be Thursday, and we'll have a look. Now, I have included 3 videos. My favorite one is the puppy dog in a boat. So I find that really interesting, and for you to figure out what ethical dilemma the puppy is facing. Okay, guys, this is sounding like a really exciting one, so I'm hoping you enjoy it. Email your teachers after you go through this to see whether you need any more clarification. But I think this is going to be a really fun unit to do. All right, good luck.